Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. I wanted to do a follow-up of my Pennsylvania Railroad N-scale catenary. This one's about the posts that actually hold the catenary. So the product I used was Plastruct H shape. Okay. Now the name of this is H4. I guess the H is for the shape, and then 4 is the size, from Plastruct. Okay, this was used for the side pieces. Okay, now H3, a little smaller, was used for the cross piece here. Okay, H2 was used for my supports up here. There we go. You can see it there. So basically, right here. Now, I tried all kinds of adhesives. I couldn't find anything to hold it. I knew Plastruct makes a glue. It also didn't hold it. It's fine if you're going to glue something and it doesn't have to be durable. This here, in process of track cleaning, you might bump it or you don't want it falling apart. So here's what I use. Here's what I found the best. Now there are better ones on the market than this. Maybe a quick dryer than this. This took about 24 hours to really get rock hard, but it's set up in about an hour, maybe a little more. It's called JB Weld. Okay, very inexpensive. And it's a 2-part. You just mix it 50-50, mix it all together, mix it well, and then that's what I applied. So now, when I did use it, here's the finished product. And as you can see, this is not going anywhere. Okay. Now, my measurements for these, the poles here, I came up with 3 1/8 height here. Okay. And there's a reason why I came up with this height. If you watch the previous video on the catenary wire itself, you'll understand how I came to this height. Now that doesn't include the 3 1/8 doesn't include the stanchion on the end. This is like another 1/4 inch down here, this right here. So you take the 3 1/8 and then you add the stanchion down here, and that's the size I came with. Now I made it 3 inches wide here. Now this is for my double track main, but however, when you come to the curves, now you got to take consideration that it all depends on your radius of your curve. Okay, so you're going to have to measure that on your own because it's going to be wider than this. So you're going to have to measure that out. Make sure. Now, a very important thing to do, don't learn the hard way like I did. When you make a prototype, the first one, run the largest cars, passenger cars, steam engine, whatever the case may be, auto rack, that's a good one, around on the track. Push it around, make sure you're going to have clearance when it makes that curve. It doesn't hit these poles. So I ran into that problem myself. I think I forgot when I did my HO layout years ago. So long ago, I pretty much forgot that. So make sure you measure before you go making a whole bunch of these and then end up wasting your time. Make sure that you run your car around your curve to make, on both sides, your inner track and your outer track, to make sure that it's going to clear these poles. And here's how I did. There's two ways you can do this. Now, I used the JB Weld again to hold the wires here that's actually going to hold the catenary wire. Now, I went this way the first time, and then when I went to cut this down and trim it, to make my hook, I was finding that it was breaking loose. My glue, my weld here was breaking loose because it takes quite a bit to, you know, bend this with needle nose or whatever. So what I did was I came up with a better idea. And what I did was I just took, let me see if I can get it right on the camera. It's going to hang this way. So I made the little hooks this way. So when I installed them, they're like that. Okay. So you can do it either way. You can do it this way if it's easier for you. It's a little tricky to get these on there because they're so small, and then you got to set them down into the epoxy. But trust me, it'll save you a headache in the long run if you go that way. But just make sure you have enough. Your hooks open up enough so your wire is going to be able to just hang. Because when you're setting it up, this needs to hang free because you're going to have to adjust a little bit here and there. And what I did was, after this was all said and done, I got all my wire where I needed it to be, and everything was the height and everything was lined up. I just hit the joint right here with some super glue, and a little drop of super glue, and it held it right there. So that's how I got it to hold. After I was all said and done and got don't go ahead right away and start gluing this, because you're gonna have to make adjustments as you go along with this. So leave that not glued until the very end when you're satisfied with everything. So also I purchased these signal towers. And you can see my Pennsylvania lights on there. They actually came with, I forget the manufacturer, but they actually came with like one red light here and one green one in the center here. And what I did was I just filed these off and painted the lights on there with some yellow paint. And that looks pretty good. It's not lit. Maybe someday down the road, I'll come up with something where I can have these actually lit and operating and stuff. For right now, this is what I did. So it looks pretty good. You can change it whatever direction. You can have the opposite direction. You know, it's hard to see, but there you get the idea. There it is right there. There's your stop right there. Stop. So, but I basically used this as a guide because you want to make sure that you're not too high when you run your wire, so your wire is going to be able to fit underneath there, because these are very important to me and prototypical. So this isn't exactly a prototypical signal tower from Pennsylvania Railroad, but again, sometimes in N scale we have to make sacrifices. So that's pretty much how I did that. Here, when I made my stanchions, my concrete stanchions, I just bought 1/4 inch balsa wood. It comes in, I don't know, I think I got it in 3-foot sections. Cut it down and then just glued it on the end. Super glue, boop, painted it concrete, and it's pretty good. Now, I didn't go through the trouble of beveling, because I know they are in prototype. They're beveled here, the concrete. I didn't get it all. This is so small, and I'm not that big a stickler. I am, but I'm not. So sometimes I'm a good enough kind of guy. So if it looks good, I'm not worried about those real small details, not on something like that. Besides, you could put weeds around there or whatever and cover them up if you want. So, or ballast, whatever you want to do. So I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to ballast up against them or what I'm going to do. But there it is in a nutshell. If you like the video, I hope this was helpful. It's a very inexpensive way. I mean, I think I did 16 feet. Let me think, it was 8, 16. Yeah, about 16 feet of this, the poles and the wire. And it probably cost me $20 in material. So it's an inexpensive way to do it. If you have the time and the patience, it looks very well in the end. It looks very good. So I hope this was informative. If you like, hit the like button and subscribe. I would appreciate it. And I'll keep the videos coming. I have some more things I want to show everybody. And I'll see you then. Thanks again. Bye.